Hey guys, and welcome back to the Low Poly Wolf class. In this lesson we're going to go through how to create the legs of our wolf. So just spinning around what we have of our wolf model here, it's really starting to take shape. So I'm just hopping back into the right view here, going to Loft, deleting the Phong tags as we have done before, and renaming that legs. So just double click and rename it legs. Creating the end side, dragging it into the legs, and now this time I'm going to rotate the end side 90 degrees towards us, and now I'm just creating I'm rotating it again, just thinking about how to align the leg to the hip of the leg. And now I'm going to use the move tool just to put it at the beginning of the hip, and then creating the thigh like so. So using the move tool again, scaling it up so you can see the hip and the thighs quite large. And now I'm just going to rotate the second end side as it goes down towards the hind legs. So holding control, click and drag, rotating it a little bit and scaling it right down. So just trying to follow the basic direction and the shape of the leg. I'm going to click linear interpolation here. And I'm going to go back to the leg, clicking the latest end side, and sort of following how the bone structure of the leg goes. So you can see here how it curves inwards and then it goes outwards again. So sort of creating that part of the leg, scaling it down. And there you have roughly the rough shape of the back leg of our wolf. So just zooming out to see what it looks like. And I'm fairly happy with how that's looking at the moment. So going back into our perspective view just to have a quick look at what it looks like. Now you can see here that because we rotated the first end side towards us, it looks kind of strange at the top of the thigh there, at the top where the hip should be, where it's connected. So first of all we're going to select the whole leg and move it towards the right of the wolf. I'm going to select the first end side and rotate it towards the body of the wolf, like so. So now you can sort of see that the first end side is how we're going to connect the hip of the leg and join it to the body of the wolf there. So just moving the first end side, and then I'm going to do the same with the second end side. I'm just going to rotate it just a little bit, not as much as the first one, just a little bit so that it's not so much of a harsh rotational change. And you can also do the same with the other end sides as well, but we're just going to see how this connects to the body of the wolf. So just moving the first end side. I think the first end side is probably the most important one, so I need to rotate it this way a little bit more, because you can see where the leg joins the hip is slightly smaller than the rest of the body, so you kind of have to judge how the first end side connects with it. Just going to scale it up a bit. So at this point I'm just using my eye to see how it looks with the rest of the model. So just like what we did with the tail, you don't have to follow the reference image 100%. You can if you want, but at this point we're just going to use our eye to judge how it looks. Just going to the second end side, looking at it from behind the wolf to see if the legs look correct from all angles, so not just from the right as we have here. So I'm just moving back to the right view so that I can see if the silhouette matches our reference image. And I'm pretty happy with that at the moment. So just as we have done with the rest of the model, just going into our object, making sure leg is selected, and just scaling down the subdivisions so that it's properly low poly. So we can see the leg is kind of taking shape. I'm kind of happy with that. You can experiment with the leg a little bit more, so just moving it in slightly or moving it out. So you can see I'm moving it in a little bit, as I thought the leg was a bit too far out. Just constantly switching back and forth, rotating around the wolf. And as we did with the ears, we're creating a symmetry, and then we're going to drag the leg into the symmetry like so, and automatically it should create the second leg. So now we have two back legs for our wolf. Going back into the right view to see how it looks like in our compared to our reference material. Creating a new loft, deleting the Phong tag, and then going and creating another end side. Now again, putting the end side into the loft and rotating the end side towards us again by now about 90 degrees, like so. And then scaling it down and moving it into place. So this time we're going to be creating the front legs of the wolf. So using our reference image here, you can see where the front legs of the wolf, where it sort of begins, where the shoulders are. So I'm just trying to align the end side so that it's exactly or roughly where the shoulders of the wolf are, exactly like what we did with the rest of the model. Just choosing a starting point and then just modeling out after that. So just sort of using the rotation tool again and scaling, using the rotation, the scale tool and the move tool, clicking linear interpolation. At this point I'm just scaling down the subdivisions as well, making sure you select the right end side, scaling it right down so that it fits roughly the size of the wolf's leg. Putting it into place, holding control, click and drag to create more end sides and more polygons. So you can see how the wolf's leg, just like the back leg, kind of starts off really big where the shoulders are or where the hips are, and then kind of tapers down, becomes smaller and smaller and smaller as you go towards the foot. Now you can see here that the front legs are kind of above the back legs because of the ground. So I'm just making it so that the front legs are a little bit longer, so that it matches the same size as the back legs. Because we're going to have a flat ground, we want them both to be about the same length. So hopping back into our perspective view, moving it into place so that it's not in the middle of our model, and just kind of looking at what it looks like, putting the subdivisions down, making sure that you've got the loft selected. I'm going to select the first end side using the rotation tool to rotate it towards the body of the wolf, and the same with the second end side as well, just to make it so that the rotation isn't quite as harsh. It's not 90 degrees rotation, and just moving the first end side inside the body of the wolf, and kind of looking around the wolf to see what it looks like. Again, just using your eye to judge. Now here I've just selected all the end sides apart from the shoulder. Now I've just selected the shoulder and moving just the shoulder to look around, and then looking around the wolf to see what it looks like. Create symmetry, put the loft inside the symmetry once you're happy, and there you have your hind legs and your front legs of the wolf. So you can see how I'm experimenting with the loft and the end sides to create the legs. This technique is very versatile, and it can be used to create all sorts of shapes and sizes. So you can continue to experiment like what I've done here until you're happy with the way that your wolf looks, and in the next lesson we'll create the paws and finish off our low poly wolf. See you guys there.